Once you love it, it's no longer a weed. What do you think that means? Hello and welcome to Plant-Based Life Lessons. Today we're diving deep into the world of weeds, not your typical gardening advice, but a look at how the lessons of weeds can be applied to our own lives. A weed is a plant that grows where it's not wanted or where it conflicts with human needs, goals, or preferences. Weeds also compete with the main plant for air, water, sunlight, and nutrients in the soil, making them deficient for the main plants. But did you know that more than a type of plant, weeds are actually a perception? What we call a weed in one context could be a prized plant in another. This episode is all about understanding where we belong, how to thrive in different environments, and the importance of lifting each other up. Let's talk about belonging. We all crave it, that feeling of being accepted, valued, and understood. In the plant world, a weed is simply a plant growing in the wrong place. It might be a perfectly lovely plant, but because it's competing for resources or disrupting the intended order, it's labeled a weed. The same goes for us. We all have unique talents, personalities, and ways of being. The key is to find those spaces, those communities, those relationships where who we are is celebrated, not merely tolerated. Think about the people you spend your time with. Do they uplift you? Do they encourage your growth? Do they appreciate your unique perspective? If the answer is no, it might be time to reevaluate your place in that environment. Just like a plant needs the right soil conditions to thrive, we need to be surrounded by people and situations that nourish our souls. It's not about changing who you are, but about finding where you truly belong. Boundaries play a crucial role in this. Just as a gardener uses fences or borders to define different areas of their garden, we need to establish healthy boundaries in our lives. These boundaries protect our energy, our time, and our emotional well-being. They prevent us from being overrun by negativity, drama, or the needs of others. Think of it this way: a weed that's allowed to spread unchecked will eventually choke out the other plants around it. Similarly, when we don't set boundaries, we risk becoming overwhelmed and depleted. We might find ourselves constantly giving with nothing left for ourselves, learning to say no, to prioritize our needs, and to distance ourselves from unhealthy relationships. These are all acts of self-care. They are ways of ensuring that we have the space and energy to grow into our fullest selves. Remember, you are not obligated to be everything to everyone. It's okay to have preferences, to set limits, and to say no to things that don't serve you. In fact, it's essential for your well-being. Just like a gardener tends to their garden with care, we need to tend to our own lives with the same level of attention and intention. We need to be mindful of the environments we choose, the relationships we cultivate, and the boundaries we set. By doing so, we create a space where we can truly flourish, just like a plant that's been given the right conditions to thrive. We allow ourselves to grow strong, to reach our full potential, and to share our unique gifts with the world. Let's shift gears now and talk about controlled environments. Think about the structured settings in your life, your workplace, a classroom, even your own home to some extent. These environments often have rules, expectations, and norms that are designed to maintain order and efficiency. In the plant world, a controlled environment might be a greenhouse or a carefully manicured garden. Plants in these settings are often chosen for specific purposes: to produce a certain yield, to create a particular aesthetic, or to thrive in a specific climate. Similarly, in our own lives, we're often expected to conform to certain standards in controlled environments. We might need to follow a dress code, adhere to deadlines, or interact with others in a professional manner. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Just like a greenhouse provides optimal conditions for certain plants to flourish, controlled environments can offer structure, support, and opportunities for growth. They can help us develop discipline, learn new skills, and achieve common goals. However, it's important to recognize that controlled environments can also be limiting. Just as a plant that's constantly pruned and shaped might not reach its full potential in the wild, We too can feel stifled if we're constantly expected to conform. The key is to find a balance. We need to be able to adapt to the expectations of different environments while also staying true to ourselves. It's about finding ways to express our individuality within the confines of the system. Think of it this way. A wildflower might not be the best fit for a formal rose garden, but it can still bring beauty and joy to a meadow or a wildflower patch. Similarly, our unique qualities might not always be appreciated in every environment, but that doesn't mean they're not valuable. It's about finding the right fit, the environments where our strengths are valued and our contributions are appreciated. It's about recognizing that conformity isn't always the answer and that sometimes a little bit of wildness is exactly what's needed. Remember, you don't have to completely suppress who you are to succeed in a controlled environment. It's about finding creative ways to express yourself, to challenge the status quo, and to bring your unique perspective to the table. Just like a gardener who experiments with different plant varieties to create a more diverse and resilient garden, we too can bring our own unique flavors to the environments we inhabit. We can be a source of innovation, creativity, and change. Chapter 3. The Crab Barrel Theory. Have you ever heard of the crab barrel theory? It's a powerful metaphor for how we sometimes hold each other back from success. Imagine a barrel full of crabs. If one crab tries to climb out, the others will pull it back down, preventing it from escaping. Sadly, this same dynamic can play out in our own lives. We might encounter people who feel threatened by our success, who try to undermine our efforts, or who discourage us from pursuing our dreams. This kind of negativity can be incredibly toxic. It can make us doubt ourselves, second-guess our decisions, and even give up on our goals altogether. It's like being a plant that's constantly being trampled on. It's hard to grow and thrive when you're constantly being pushed down. But here's the thing. We don't have to accept this kind of behavior. We have a choice. We can choose to surround ourselves with people who lift us up, who celebrate our successes, and who encourage us to reach our full potential. Think about the people in your life who embody this kind of positivity. They're the ones who are genuinely happy for your successes, who offer support when you're struggling, and who believe in you even when you doubt yourself. These are the people you want in your corner. They're like the gardeners who nurture their plants, providing them with the water, sunlight, and nutrients they need to thrive. And here's the beautiful thing. When we choose to lift others up, we not only create a more positive and supportive environment for ourselves, but we also inspire those around us to do the same. Imagine a barrel full of crabs where, instead of pulling each other down, they work together to escape. They form a chain, with each crab supporting the one above it until they all reach freedom. This is the power of collaboration, of mutual support. Ever notice how weeds tend to grow together, collaboratively, and that makes them resilient? It's about recognizing that our success doesn't have to come at the expense of others, and that when we work together, we can all achieve more. So the next time you see someone struggling, don't be the crab that pulls them back down. Be the one who offers a helping hand, a word of encouragement, or a listening ear. You never know how much of a difference you might make. Remember, we're all in this together. Let's choose to lift each other up, to celebrate each other's successes, and to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. So, there you have it, a look at the valuable life lessons we can learn from the humble weed. If you are a leader of people, you will find these are some pretty effective signs to look out for and recognize if you're unknowingly cultivating weeds within your team. Weeds! Who knew they had so much to talk to us about fitting in? Remember, it's all about finding where you belong, thriving in different environments, and lifting each other up. What's been your experience with weeds so far? And would you be willing to share in the comments section any of your own observations with weeds? If you know anyone who might enjoy little life perspectives from the weeds in their garden, do share this video with them. And remember, don't spend so much time pulling weeds that you forget to grow your flowers. My name is HD Cardozo, and I really hope you found value in making it to the end of this episode. See you in the next episode of Plant-Based Life Lessons.